All right, Yogi, so let's stand up. So I was thinking some Kriya Yoga to start, all right? But before we go there, just stand nice and tall, creating a little bit more mindful self-awareness. You can work things like posture or breathing. It's all regulars today, so what aspect of the subtle body do you want to work on here? Would you like to add an intention setting, mantra, prayer? So this first movement we're going to do is very classic yoga. It's not easy if you're feeling tight today. It's not easy as far as strength. It's just we're going into ranges of motion to start. It's postures you do and know all the time. Done in a little bit of a different way. I think we've done this before. It's been a few months. Please take your time, all right? Start by hinging. Forward folding towards your feet. Then going to yogi squat, dropping the butt. A little bit different, yogis. Standing up, watch me here. It's a little back bend. I'm not going to be technical with the hands today. You're just going to put your hands on your hips, maybe even bend your knees, hips forward. Then you're going to forward fold, reaching for the toes. Then you're going to squat. Then you're going to stand, back bend. Forward fold, squat. If you want more, arms up. Back bend, forward fold. Squat, back bend, forward fold. You see the three poses? It's just like going kind of like down dog, cobra would be the back bend, right? And child pose. It's all the same body forms. It's just done in a little bit different way. I keep getting reminded, right? I follow this one biomechanist and he's always talking about doing exercise on your feet. That's like his main thing. You know, everyone's doing exercise, laying on benches and using contraptions like seated and laying on the back. But he says training your body to be skillful on its feet is like how it's designed and how strength is really integrated into the brain. So just, you know, if it's tight, right, you don't need to go as deep. This could be your squat. This could be your forward fold. This could be your squat. This could be your bend, right? So you could go here. It could be more like Ardha Uttanasana, chair, light back bend. Ardha Uttanasana, which is half forward fold. Chair is a type of squat. I showed you full version because I tend to go pretty far. Now the goal is to do about 20 to 30, 40 of these and to get into it until you feel the body opening. So it's basically back bend, forward bend, squat. I talk about hinges and lunges being our fundamentals. One of our unique aspects in yoga is these powerful extensions or lengtheners of the front body. Yogis call them the back bends, right? I don't like that word for it because then there's always room for misconceptions. Okay. Now I want to get into the side bodies. This is classic yoga as well. We do this all the time in my class. We're doing movements right now, yogis. So I'm going to keep going here. Arms up, palms together, reach up, big inhale. Now it's a specific breathing style. A double exhale. Out the mouth, maybe. Inhale and exhale. Okay? And then you get into it. If it's too much, easier version is something like this. I do both of these. Most days I do this. Sore, tight, tired days, I might do something like this, right? Less strain, less energy usage. How do you want to open up your side body this morning? You could even do a little bit more hyper stretching. Flexibility class, I tend to go like this. More lengthening. And this would be more strengthening. Last few. This one's about 6 to 15 per side. Now, what do the yogis say? Can you drop in potent self-experience and presence, internal awareness, and have a profound mind, body, breath, emotional thought experience? That's yoga. It's not like, can I make my muscles big? There's better ways to do that. It's not, you know. there are better systems than what we're doing today. Make yourself more flexible and give you more cardio. We're trying to build our self-awareness through the process. So alignment and the cues are part of that, right? You're being more self-aware of what you're doing, but it's not the all end range. All right, yogis, we're going to start our twisting and our lunging now, okay? From this angle, next Kriya, inhale, arms up again. We want a lot of arms up, reduce lat tension, resistance. Watch my hands. Left foot goes back, twist to the right. Now, I'm not forcing this. This is big, okay? Inhale. I call it posturing and power stance, right? And then hands to the left as my right foot goes back. And now you make it this moving meditation, this Kriya, okay? Inhaling, Urdhva Hasta. Exhale, twisting lunge. Inhale, exhale. You wake up the twisting body. There's many other ways to wake up your twisting body. I'm also using it to wake up lunge. Don't be shy, be creative. I don't mind if you come some days, you want to come to yoga, like I said in the beginning, and you want to use our group energy and do half of your own stuff or even all of it. I don't care. You know, I'm trying to get you to listen to your body more. I don't know. I might know biomechanics the best in the room, but I don't know your body. Okay. So take it with a grain of salt when I'm instructing. You're open to me, but it's flowing through your intuition, your heart, your spirit, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And then that's the big, you went from side to big forward, back, and twist, upright. Now you get your first stretch. If you're having the best day of your life, you do headstand, handstand. Hands on hips, lift heart, and forward fold. Okay, so we're in the straddle. You did that really kind of cool first Kriya, the squat, hinge, and standing back bend. You did your standing side bends, okay? And then you did your lunging twisting. Now you just neutralize. You bring your head below it, heart, hold. Don't be shy to add things here. So remember, this Saturday morning is a little bit more challenging variation of yoga. We're going to pick it up a little bit more. You go back to your forward bend. That's how class started if you were just coming in. Forward bending and squatting. Okay, now we go back to lateral, compound, with rotational. All right? Hands on blocks if you need them. It starts nice and easy like this, right? I half lift, Skanda Kriya. If you were coming in a little bit after we started, I said some Kriyas to start. These repetitive, smaller movements. All right, okay, you're getting a little bit better at it. You're here, my heels stay down. If you want pure strength, it's probably early for this, but up and down. Okay, last few there. You gotta have a lot of integrity in your core. The problem with putting your hands down is it allows your back and the core to get lazy. So you gotta make sure that you're aware of that and you can pull in the belly, engage the glutes a little. Second part, I pivot left arm high. Back through center, pivot right. Right arm high. Pivot is the key. As I pivot, I turn on the feet and the hips, and I turn. Okay? Our first lunge was very linear like this. Now you're pivoting on the feet, rotating your hip joint, adducting your hips. So it looks like this. Inhale. Last few. This is a lot. It's not easy, yogis. Say it's too much. What's an easier version? It's upright. We do this one on easier days like this. Same thing. You're pivoting. You're just not bent over. And you're not in like hyper range in the legs. Okay, last few, guys. And then what we're going to do is a couple nice movements on the floor, thinking weight bearing on the arms and different stimulation through the mind body. And then we're going to come back up to standing. Okay, listen, next time you're at the front of your mat, just step back to down dog. So plant your hands, step the front leg back. Find yourself in down dog first time. Won't be here too long because we just held the forward bend. All right, so you're meditating here, just kind of scanning through the body again. Coming back to your breath. And we're just going to do nice and simple now. A chaturanga type movement. You could do high plank, low plank, up dog. That's classic. You could do knees down, cobras, adding child poses. You could do knees, chest, chin, spinal rolling practice, pranam. You could do the Hindu flow. That's where you never really hit high plank. You go from dog to low plank to up dog. So this is a fun one if you're feeling good. Okay, you could do the gentles here. What do you want to work on this morning, yogis? What type of chaturanga? I have mixed all these in countless times. Which one do you do less of? If you need strength, you pick a strengthening one. If you need soft, the gentle knee down, gentle cobra, child pose. You guys, the gentle one, right? Looks like this. Cobra. Knee high plank, knee low plank, gentle cobra, child pose. Same stuff. Last few guys, get it going. Extra push-ups on good days. If you're having the best day of your life, you're already in handstand at the wall, right? You're doing your forearm balance, your headstand. You don't need to do chaturangas every day. If you want to just hold the plank, that could be here as well. All right, but I'm skipping that. We're doing the movement practice this morning. We will be slow and still tomorrow morning. We're going to hold poses tomorrow morning. All right, that's the deal. So remember, the goal is to hold a lot of inversions. Your first main inversion hold was the straddle, and then it's the dog. Let's go back to second dog hold. No rush, take your time. Right leg rises, open up the hip. Think of this as your first big front body stretch hold. So you're in down dog. You might shorten your stance, step your feet together closer. Right leg rises, open your hip. Three-legged dog, half scorpion, some call it. It's a really nice stretch for the front hip flexor. Really unique stretch. Goal is to hold head below heart. That's main goal. Stretching hip flexor secondary. Okay, right foot goes down, left leg goes high. We're just working one pose here. Left leg up, open. No simple cues right now. Just do your practice. Listen to the body, breathe. Now we're going to go right to our next standing movement. So nice long weight bearing on the arms, hopefully to fatigue there. Right, so feet down, walk your feet, bend knees, look forward, walk your feet to the front of the mat or hop, right? Right up to standing, please. Next movement. Now we've been doing this a lot. This is what I really want you to get better at. I always tell you, we do Warrior 3 in most of my classes. Today we will move in it. Be creative, take it further, add things. Left knee lifts. This is like our transverse abdomen training. We get so much done here, it's incredible, all right? Warrior 3, so we haven't done pigeon, but we did do straddle, squatting, hinging multiple times. Back up, okay? Warrior 3. I like to bring my arms back and up behind me to get my back shoulder here. And then I like to bring the arms up in front for more transverse abdomen. Navel in, belly lifting. If I want more, I might go to standing splits. Think about going in and out of standing splits. You always just hold it maybe, right? Okay, if you want a lot of challenge, high level, this might be intermediate advanced yoga, right? Right heel lifts. So I'm on my right mound of the foot, and I'm doing the exact same thing. Super challenge time. Toe balance, warrior 3 to tree. Last few on the first side. Now, some days I do go fast here. If you never move fast, yogis, it is good to do that. You have a large part of your brain and muscles that are specifically in your body for faster movements. You know, sometimes even fast yoga is slow. The fastest yoga teachers I've ever seen, they're still slow. You know, it's good to kind of get outside your box, right? So, you know, sometimes I'll go really, basically as fast as I can. Now, that's on a good day, granted. That's not every day. Can we do the second side? Some of you are already there. Some of you are doing your own thing. I get it. You know, some mornings you don't want to do this. This is the one-legged hinge. This is fitness 101. You go to a trainer, they're going to have you do this in a different, maybe a different way with weights, but you're getting dynamic hamstring stretch. You're getting the most stable, you're stabilizing your glutes, right? When I was in myology, we learned every elbow pain, 90% of elbow pain is due to a lack of scapular stability. 90% of scapular instability is caused from lack of pelvic stability. Lack of pelvic stability is mainly caused by weak glute muscles. 90% of people's elbows hurt because their glutes are weak. That's why I teach more hips, yogis. How do we really strengthen the glutes in the most fundamental way? Tonic phasic, barefoot exercise. There's a strategy I'm using based off the information I learned, okay? You can do anything here as long as you're on one foot and you're flexing, extending the hip, okay? That's our main path of movement in life, walking. So this will make you a better walker. That's the main thing you should master physically, probably, right? Can we keep going, guys? I want to go back to the rotation now. I want to get into the squat hold. That's all straight leg, it's all forward. I love this exercise. It's not really classic yoga, but it is kind of, right? This is a classic yoga pose, the goddess, or the wide angled chair. We did some pivoting earlier. Did some that. Now it's like you can hold your block if you want. This one's a little stickier, a little tighter. Okay, I don't want you to move fast here, probably. I do this fast all the time, but if you're new to it, go slow. Down to the right is the exhale. Inhale up to the left. Now I really want you to work your core. Exhale, inhale. Okay, don't let the knees buckle in, yogis. This is strength. I just said I do it fast sometimes, but I do really slow down my mind and make sure I'm hitting the muscles well. So this is the vertical, descending, transverse muscle fibers. You have these muscle fibers that hit through your glutes, fascia, across thoracolumbar, up to opposite lat. You have it here too, right? Your two obliques are angled, the two layers of obliques. I want you to work hard till failure. Freak out. It's got to be emotional. It's got to be a struggle mentally. Not only emotional, fun. You got to do fun things like go dance and go exercise in the way you love, but then you got to exercise in the way that it's work. Holding doing this right now is work. Holding the pose and continuing is work. And it's that other side of the emotion with the joy. Okay, can we do the second side? Some of you guys are losing it. So You shake it out a little bit, right? But you just go right for it. It's like working out. You do a second set, but you do it in the second side. So down to the left, up to the right, core in. Yogis, try to relax your shoulders a little bit. Look, shoulders down, okay? It's good, everyone. Don't let the knees buckle in. If you've ever had me private and I have you do this, I'll stand behind you and have you push your knees into my hands. You're actually pushing your knees into my hands, right? A good way to train this is in the gym. They have that abduction machine. You sit in it and you like bring your thighs away from each other. That helps you get really good at this. It's the same action. Your thighs go together and you go out. Come on, work that core. This is biomechanics, body function 101 here. Tomorrow we're gonna do like this, the basics. We're gonna hold something like this, right? Exercise must be emotional, or you're not gonna have the fast growth, the big change of the mind and the body. All right. Okay, so you did your second round of squats, you did your second round of hinges. Take your time. Let's step to the front of our mat. Let's give the legs a break. Let's go back to arms. Rotational, abduction, adduction. I'm not going to have you hold side plank today. I want to get us better at moving in and out of it. Let's make our way down to the ground. How do you want to get there? I'm going to do squatting. I don't feel like I need forward bend today, so I'm going to take a little squat. We did it in the beginning. A lot of you came in, you missed squatting, so maybe you go there. Okay, just to neutralize the big twist. Plank posture. So I mentioned not holding plank. We do it too much. I slowly turn my heels to the left. Even slower, I come to the fingertips of the right hand. Even slower, I hover the right hand. And then I feel every inch working the movement into my side plank. And then today it's a little different, yogis. It's like a row. I'm pulling my right elbow back, turning my chest up to the sky. And then I even slower, turn my chest down. Look at this. And I put the right hand down, boom. Now look, back slowly, same side. You see it? Now I have you do it like this, like fast. This is the slow. Hyper range and side plank. It's like your upper body goes to a flip. And then it's slow. Now you can get even more disciplined and just turn the shoulder down. You know, sometimes I do stuff like this in fitness. It's kind of the same, right? If you need to hold side plank, I get it. We do that a lot in this class. What do you want to work on for your arm, lateral body strength and challenge? And some days you just need to put the knee down. I do it. I go to yoga classes. Everyone's doing side plank. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I'm the strongest in the room in yoga. But I put my knee down because my shoulder hurts. Yoga is all about being kind to the body and all about intensity, both. How can you be wise and meld those two together, you know, to help your body develop and optimize its function? A lot of athletes are never kind to their body. A lot of people are just not good at getting the fire, the intensity going. So make sure you do your second side, yogis. This is all strength work. I always say yogis stretch too much. You can stretch a lot once you strengthen a lot. Strengthening is first. Movements first, but come on, go slower. Come on now, slow it down. Like every little inch is a yoga pose. Imagine you're halfway between high plank and side plank holding. I could slow you down as a group if I have to. All right. Okay, so the next thing I want to hit, so that is very rotational, right? Your core does have to turn and twist, and your very lateral body, it's very back shoulder. I want to stay with that. If you do that really slow, it hits hard here, right? Because you're going from here to here with weight, right? It's a back fly. Now, how do I mimic this? It's that people say you don't pull in yoga. That's not true. All right, let's come out of our butt now. I want to hit that core. So we're going to hit the abs. I'm going to break it down for you. 2 parts. Let's give the shoulder, back shoulder break because we are going to hit it next. All right, we are going to do stuff like this. This is core work. It's not just front body. Couple different exercises for you. I'm going to go through them. You're going to have a go at it for your level today. Easiest is hold here and then hold here after a few breaths. Okay? I will do the full sit-up today. We haven't done this a lot lately. It's nice and slow. Low boat, high boat. Okay? Low boat, more is extended, more lever weight, high boat. Okay? I'd like you to do a few of those quick. Or just hold. I like low boat better because most of you probably have tight hip flexors. Low boat's where your lower back's down and you're in a cat spine. When you're sitting upright, your abs aren't going to hit hard at all, right? You're going to hit the hip flexors. And what you find in a lot of people is the hip flexors dominate front body tension and compression. In the abs, you do a lot of ab work, but they don't get stronger because of that. So how do you take them out of the picture? The best way is to keep your feet down and go here. Hip flexors barely hit. Okay? If you do this, your hip flexors turn on. If you go here, hip flexors stay out. So I like to go here. People hate on crunches. And they want you to do planks, but it's all hip flexors, okay? Next exercise, it's back to twist yogis. I want you to do this well. There's not many great substitutes in yoga for what we're about to do. You did your front core, lay on your back, arms down. If you have a block between your thighs, I have to have you do this like once a week, guys, okay? Inhale, knees go to the right. Remember, this is chair pose, but you're on your back. You're twisting in chair. I'm going over to the right, rolling my left ribs down, pulling the belly in, coming back, over to the left, hold it. If it's easy, your legs are straight. When I train athletes with this, we do fast twitch or weight bearing. So you put like a 6, 4, 8 pound exercise ball between their feet. Or I push their feet fast and they have to catch it. We're doing it in a little, I'm not trying to make you guys athletes, right? So you're going slow, trying to get quality muscular contractions. You're basically just on your back. If you're like this, right? You're basically doing this. We've done this in chair, right? Except you're using weight now. Please slow down your mind and your body. Remember what the Hatha Yogi said. Practice no matter what you're doing. Stepping into the present moment completely. Uninterrupted attention on your task, your intention, in a profound mind, energy, breath, thought, emotion, spiritual experience. That's yoga, guys. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You know, the Buddha said you try to clean the toilet like that, right? That is a real Buddha quote. I did not make that up. The Buddha said, once you can put your whole soul into cleaning the toilet, you might be enlightened. So there's our transverse core. You know, we did like pivoting and twisting. We did the lunge in the top, and then it's a big twisty class. So we did rotational core. You came from side plank, that was side body. Now it's posterior chain. We're gonna go big, all right? Let's slowly make our way up. What did I say, yogis? Most people's shoulders and elbows hurt because their butt is soft. When I learned that, it was like, whoa, like
the evidence is very clear because it's all muscle chain. The ancients knew it. You get knee pain, they put a needle in your elbow, right? Or vice versa. Your elbow hurts, they put something in your knee, right? I'm gonna do it today. Now, beginners bridge, middle people here. I want you to do a lot of these today. I want you to get good at the hip thrust, okay? So yogis, what we're gonna try to do is called reverse plank. Another way you can do this is locust, non-weight bearing. Another way you can do it is in your forearms or here, right? We do extended bridge, straight leg. I'm gonna ask you to try this today. It's Saturday, we're doing it. Fingers forward, it looks like this. Inhale, slow, tap. I'm going a little fast. I do this stuff a lot, yogi, so I can move faster than a newer person, okay? It is a moving
Up, down, reverse plank. We are going to do a 2 rounds. I want you to go in your hip thrust practice, which means you're using your arms, legs, back, body strength to push your hips forward and up, posterior tilt and extension. So it's pointing your toes. Some people call that foot ankle extension. Knee extension, which means your knee is straight as possible. Your hips are extending. That's triple extension in the leg. It's spinal extension. It's shoulder extension. You know, this is I told you I touch people's bodies. This sounds weird. I touch people's bodies every day, but I have a massage business. So I palpate, that's another word of saying touch, muscles all day. You know, and I get true insight of people's conditions. Everyone's back bodies really suck, even athletes. What does that tell me? We need to strengthen the back body. All right. You go into yoga and all I do is have you stretch the back and then strengthen the front. All right. Some of you are taking a rest. Yeah, you take a little stretch. It's a tough moment. It's core work. What if the elbows and the wrists and the shoulders hurt because your butt's weak? What is going to strengthen the butt? It's going to make all the pain reduction and make everything more stable and functional. Let's do it again. Come on now. I want fingers forward, yogis. No fingers turned out behind you, okay? Beginners, just do your bridges. No problem. It's the same. It's just a little more, you know, soft on the body. One-legged bridge would be nice. The super duper is one-legged straight-legged hip thrust, right? So it's reverse plank on one leg. Be careful. Tough, right, Stephen? When people want to be as athletic as possible, it's one-legged. We don't do two-legged in athletics. You do a little. The EMG charts are clear. They do everything. They did squats, they did hinges, they did thrusts. One leg versus two leg doesn't even compare. One leg, it's good, you know, or two leg is good for like beginners and people who are doing therapeutics and, you know, the basic symmetry connections of the body. But if you want to be physical performance based, it's all one-legged. What's the best leg exercise you can possibly do? Say you want to get the most bang for your buck. It's called a one-legged squat. It's clear, the EMG charts, it hits every single part of your leg. It's very possible to injure yourself also, but the best exercise for your leg possible is a one-legged squat. There's mixed debates on that, by the way. But I am on the side, pistol squat is number one. I know because I've done it 1,000 times, nothing hits my legs as hard, plus the EMG charts. Okay, one-legged hip thrust is main glute. That you, if you can't do it, one-legged hinge, one-legged lunges are sometimes considered one-legged. So you guys done there? Looks like a lot of you are sitting around now. Couple of you are still going, which means I'm going to move forward. I want to do some dynamic stretching. We need to strengthen our stretch. So that is a back body shortener. This is a back body lengthening tensor. Cross your shins, please, not your ankles. Your shins are parallel to the edge of your mat. I'm not going to have you hold this. Yogis do this too much, okay? The ancient yoga practice is a lot of stretching because the monks were active all day, okay?
When I stayed with the monks for 1 month, they're the most physically active people I've ever met. They wake up at like 3, walk 4 miles to the temple, up hills, down hills. Then they're on the farm milking the cows. Then they're on the building buildings, cooking, serving everyone, carrying food all around. That's why they stretch a lot. If you're not active, you shouldn't be stretching that much. Shins crossed, chest lifts. You're feeling good here. I press the outer edges of my feet down, and I come up. Okay? A profound spiritual experience. When I say spirit, it means mind, body, emotions, energy, breath, because it's all part of it. Okay? Spirit's just a way of saying the deepest aspects of yourself. Another way we do this, yogis, looks like this. It's more restricted though. Pressing down, same thing. It's one-legged, you're here right now. The two-legged is easier. Go. Have some fun, work in the body.
See, the last rotation you did was all transverse abdomen. That's all spine. Now it's all rotation of hips. The spine is just hinging. The spine shouldn't really be rounding, right? It really shouldn't be flexing. It will. And a little bit of it is actually really good to functionally train. It's really good to round a little bit intentionally and then sit up tall like this. So it's spinal thoracic extension. But if you're doing it unintentionally, you don't hit the extension, it's not good, okay? Now, some days you go in and out, some days you hold, some days you stretch. Okay, can we do the second side? You're just doing about 10 to 15 of these max. If you can do way more than that, you have to go slower and hands have to add more weight. So you go here, here even, okay? Looks good, everyone. Just press the outer edges of your feet down. Your feet are crossed like this. So you're not just flopping your feet underneath your body. Not like this, guys. No. More intention, more strategy. You know, people ask me how my practice is so far beyond most people's. It's because I do a lot of things that most of them people don't do. I just have a more technical, intentional strategy based off information. I'm not just doing yoga poses randomly. That's why I can practice less and grow more. I am not more talented. I don't practice more. I know people who practice yoga like fiends and their growth is slow because they're just not well-rounded enough. You know how I do this with people who can't do anything that you guys are doing? We do it like this. I often say this is how trainers do it, right? Outer edge of foot down, pigeon or sutra, and we go like this. And they're pushing here. Yogis, I worked with this enormous gentleman. He's like 6'7", about 300 pounds, solid muscle. The guy I just met at the Bay Club. Now he's my good friend, and he saw me working out. And he's like, you do all this stuff no one else does. And he hired me for one private. I taught him piriformis tension because I did a muscle test on him. He does that one exercise twice a week. His back pain is gone. I'm not exaggerating. If we stretch muscles, you're not getting support. Then joints start to hurt. And other little muscles start to hurt. All right. This is a glute strengthener. You just came from the reverse plank. It's a different type. All right. So I want to do one more here. When you're done, there's more to this story, but I got to get you good at these basics. Bend knee crossed, straight leg wide. This is the tough one. If it's too much, just bring your legs closer, right? This is the easy one. Your legs are in front of you, you can't go in. Stronger, much stronger, okay? Legs got to engage. Hands on the hips. Inhale, exhale. Strength, slow, muscle activation. More. You can see the yogis do this, the Olympic weightlifters do this. They do this with a bar on their back. In essence, what are you doing? This, look. You do this all the time, Ardha Uttanasana.
You go forward fold, you half lift. Same thing.
The key is to engage your thighs, shins, feet, chest lift, maximum. I'm going off today, guys. I woke up tired, but then I took a long walk outside on a little caffeine, and I have a lot of energy today. So you remember, you did those active, really the back bends, right? So it was the hip thrusts, and now we're in this like really forward bend area, and you did a twist in between, and it all started from the laterals. So after this, we're just going to hold 2, 3 kind of like active stretch poses. 2, 3, and then you're pretty much done, yogis. All right, so stay strong. Class flies. If you just step into the moment, class is over before you know it. All right. So I'm only having you do 1 round. Sometimes when I'm doing that, I'll do a few rounds. But again, you just give your body small doses of this stuff, more well-rounded exercises, routines. Okay, so you want to shake that out a little bit. You take a little moment, a little twist or something, or that's a really tough exercise. And as you get better at it, you will add weight or holds. So you hold like an inch off the ground, you kind of like pulse in it, and your legs will go wider. Okay, so we're going to swing it around a tabletop, yogis.
Loosen up for a moment. That's all very stiff stuff. You know, abs, back, twist, hinging, outer, and then inner tension. Remember, this one you're pressing on the outer edge of your legs. Look, outer edge of your legs. And then this one is more inner edge of your legs. You see a lot different, okay? Arch the back, round the spine. Watch me here, quick wrist stretch. Just to give you a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a soothing moment. If you're feeling good, you do headstand instead, all right? Last moments here, wrist stretching, cat-cowing. Just kind of loosening up the back after all that crazy tightness, okay? Now we're gonna go into active stretching. My favorites, triangles. If you can't do triangles right now, we do them on the knees. If you'd rather do like splits, let's do it, all right? Down dog, stand up. Got about 15 minutes left in class, feet step wide. All right, so the static active holds. I want you to think strength, merge, or flexibility. Now we go still, all right? Feet wide, right toes out. There are advanced versions of triangle. I mentioned them. I'll keep it simple today. Arms wide. Now, eventually, what did Iyengar say? Hands as wide as feet, right? After years of practice. But it is better to keep a little mid-ground. Feet not too close, not too wide. Drop your right hip down, lengthen out, hinge. All right, I want you to work engaging your legs, sturdy now. You are not in a hinge. Excuse me, you're not in a flexion, you're in a hinge. Pull the belly in, okay? More advanced, hands behind the back, Sushumna. Reverse prayer is more advanced, or active. Maintain position, guys. What's our first big plane of movement now? It's very lateral in nature.
No cues. You guys know the pose. It's time to start recognizing and applying inefficiencies and yoga corrections yourself. I gotta give you the chance to do that. I've said the cues 1,000 times. A good strategy is to start with your feet, all right? And then run up. If I had to pick one thing, it's engage your legs. Second would probably be lengthen your spine, right? Let's slowly come up, second side. Triangle practice today. Remember in the Kriya a week or two ago, I had you go triangle one side, up, triangle the other side. Triangle up, down, triangle up, pivot, triangle other side. This is the opposite. It's very, very still, more disciplined. I say lengthen the spine because it can cue you to take you out of rounding, and it can take you out of arching too, right? So that in this posture in particular, some people round really hunching the spine, some people arch. So a good way to get you both, I don't want to say, you can't really say like arch your back, lean back, because some people are already there hyper. So lengthen the spine is a good kind of middle ground to all work for. And engage your legs, press your feet down are the simple cues. If anyone's ever like studied the Iyengar yoga, he always like talks about the triangles. And when I was new to yoga, I never did this triangle for like years in yoga, and then I was introduced to it later and started to get into Iyengar. And he was always obsessed with these, and I was always like kind of not understanding why. And now I do. All right, this is a fantastic, unique posture, peak lateral tilt of class. All right, let's do our second type of triangle. One round only, guys. It is the revolve. If you want to do revolve balloon today, you can. It's basically very similar, but I'm going to pivot now with the right leg in front of me. Now my hips align to face the leg. More left hand up, less hands on hips. You could do reverse prayer. You could even do like Gomukasana. It would be left arm up, but I'm going to keep it simple. Feet hips width distance, back foot turned open slightly, and we hinge. And I'm not even going to go forward to pyramid today, right? I'm going to slide my back foot back because it was too close, and then I'm going to start to turn. Whatever leg's in front of me, just like lunging, we twist that way. And then you work. You get into a flexible position, you work on engaging muscles. Revolve triangle. Nice, everyone looks good. Remember, it is good to use blocks, but you've been doing yoga for years. The blocks allow you to disengage your legs and core. You put your hand down easy. You know, yogi's obsessed with using blocks, and I tend to teach towards beginners. But I have to remind my experienced people, you have to get rid of the blocks eventually. You see these people trying to do handstand, and they're still using these props and walls 20 years later. No wonder you haven't got it yet, because you're not teaching your body to do it. You're using something else. The body hasn't got the chance to adapt. You got to throw the blocks out eventually. All right. Not every day. I still use blocks, but some days. Okay. Can we do the second side? Slowly exit, shake it out a little bit. This is final standing pose. I'm not doing a lot of the standing balance and stuff. Final standing pose right now. Okay. After this, we'll do camel and rabbit, and then you're basically, that's it for any really strenuous. Okay, right hand down if your left leg is forward, and lengthen. It is an Ardha Uttanasana, and then turn to left. Have a go at it. You're good at the pose. If you're trying to unravel the layers of the forms, the breath is the gateway to the thought body, to the subtle energy body, to the emotional body, subconscious. The breath calms everything. Nice, Jamie. I remember you're doing Baptiste yoga. Right? Anyone ever do Baptiste? He's one of those like crazy yogis people. He won't teach easy yoga. And you hold Hinge for 5 minutes. It's one of the most difficult things I can remember doing. You know, you hold Hinge. You're basically, I know you guys are involved triangle. So I'm like,
telling a story here. You hold hinge, and what does he have you do? Stay in hinge, widen your feet. Stay in hinge, turn. Stay in hinge, lateral. Stay in hinge, bend your knees. Stay in hinge, squat. And you literally, that was difficult in 30 seconds, but you hold it for like 5-10 minutes in hinge. And that's part of the triangle experience, staying in hinge. It's this, yogis. If you're in the garden, you have to be really good at this. If you have kids, you're picking shit up all the time. If you have dogs, you're picking stuff. You have to be really good at this. Right? So we're doing that as a functionality of like life. Okay? Can we continue? That was lateral, that was rotational. Now it's deep back bend, deep spinal rounding. Final two big practices. Okay? How do you want to make yourself, how do you want to get to the ground? Do you want to do a crow? Do you want to do a handstand hop? Do you want to do a chaturanga? Do you need a child pose? Last two tough poses. Okay? I'm just going to step down. I'm not a true vinyasa yogi. And I don't teach that much flow, you know, the big sequencing. I should teach a little bit more of that probably. Camel position. Many ways to do camel. We started with standing back bends. No locust today. We did some cobras. This is our big front body opener today. No Anjanasana. Okay. Fingers face up on your glutes. Traction your butt down. Lift your heart. Push your hips forward and butt down. Eventually, you do want to open your mouth. Jaw releases, because that's sternocleidomastoid. That's top of your superficial front line right here. It connects to your sternalis muscle, a deep muscle that's here. Okay, runs right there. Look at it. Right to your xiphoid process. That's diaphragm. That's your psoas. Breathe in it. Eventually, you can put your hands on blocks or the heels, but be careful. It's very easy to compress the posterior spine here. So you want to think lifting up with the chest, up dog to the sky. People doing advanced stuff, arms up. We've done single leg stuff. We've done half rotational. So your one hand is down, the other arm is up across. You can do other stuff. I'm more in stretch mode right now, okay? So when you're done with your first round, this is when you probably can't hold too long. I do want to remind you, it's a belly breathing. It's tough because you got to put your abdomen in, but then you got to try to belly breathe. You can't breathe in your chest because you're an extension of the spine. Your ribs lock up. You can't breathe there. So you got to pull your belly in, but also breathe there. Okay. Can we do one more round, please? Make it a good one. Toes tuck is a different version. Usually in beginners, say top of the feet down. Remember, it is better to have not better. It's easier to have your knees a little wide. If you have a block between your thighs or your knees together, you are in an intermediate version. This pelvis can't tilt as easy, okay? Last round of your camel, please. Just don't go anterior tilt. You gotta pull the abdomen in, okay? Nice, yogis. Everyone's looking good there. All right, so I mentioned rabbit. Now, that's your final back bend. No bridge today. You already did that. Now, rabbit. This is like, I'm sorry, we already did pigeon. We already did hamstrings, triangles, done. Front body's done, rotation's done. It's just a different ending. We're not doing tomorrow's gonna be nice and slow holding stretches and poses, all right? Rabbit. Grabbing your heels, knees, feet together, feet stay down, round. It is called forehead to knee. I literally try to touch my forehead to my knees. I bring the crown down. I start to lift my hips, right? With practice, forehead closer to knee. I pull on my heel with my elbows straighten. I spread my upper back, my neck, lower back. Breathe. If you cannot do this, a nice substitute is caterpillar. Forehead to knee. Try to round and touch your forehead to your knees. I am not going like this. You did enough of that. Okay? Doing this. Another great substitute is the plow. It's basically the same thing. You swing your legs over your bodies and your knees go to your forehead with the weight. Rabbit. It's biggest spinal flexion possible.
Let's see what's going on here. So the hips lift up off the heels. Nice, Jamie. You know, it's good to look around at people's computers sometimes for some of these poses because I can't demo everything all the time. It's really not good for my body, especially if I'm feeling sore and tight, which I am. So, you know, if you look at Jamie Sun's Siegel there, she is in that pose really well. You see that circle and that rounding of the spine? I posted about this on my Instagram, this pose. It's biggest spinal flexion possible, right? So it's like a cat. Can you take a little breather and do one more round? Now, some of you are doing your caterpillar, beautiful. Some of you are doing, you know, there's this one, guys.
It's kind of like pyramid, right? But it's forehead to knee. Rounding, right? Rounding. I mentioned plow. Watch the rounding. Forward to knee, right? Same. It's the exact same thing as this. When you do the rabbit, though, you get the pull becomes the object of the stretch, which means it helps you basically access spaces you're not going to get in other positions. Okay, last round, guys.
If it's an awkward, weird position, you know, it will be weird on the neck. You got to press your feet down and pull on your heels and keep a lot of the tension and weight back there. I should have shown beginner first, probably, huh? Forgot that important part.
This is beginner, guys. Right there. Breathing right there. It's a really good prep for headstand too, for those of you who never get weight into your crown. Remember, I learned in myology.
When you release your scalp, you release your sinuses. That's huge. Scalp's associated with sinuses. Look. What's also scalp related to? Inner ear. We also know it's related to suboccipital, which is part of that, which relates to dura mater, eye cavity. So you get tension in your eyes and stuff. We release the scalp and the suboccipital ridge there, okay? All right, guys, we made it. Looks like a lot of you are done. Lay on your back. Bring your knees into your chest. You get a minute here. We did everything. You don't need any hip stretches necessarily. If anything, it'd be like a quad stretch, I would say. If you wanted to put your legs up in the air, you didn't get an inversion. I'm just going to give you a minute or so to do one last little position. And then you're going to meditate. So what do you want to work on for your meditation today? Your mental, psychological self there. Lately for me, for the last months, I've been doing things like, closing my eyes and practicing, projecting, stabilizing, harmonizing my aura. It's a little woo-woo, but I do believe everything is energy. I'm pretty sure humans haven't detected with our technology even a little fraction of what's out there in the universe as far as what we are and what is happening. I always do meditation, like projecting my aura, like harmonizing, like making it strong. COVID's out there. And you do the energy meditation where you feel your aura, and then you can do things like energy ball. This is big in like Qigong. You create an energy ball and then you send it into the certain areas where when you do it enough, you can see your aura, what chakra, where it's kind of weak. You send an energy ball, you create this energy ball in the hand. And you can reach it up and make it golden. And then that's how I do it. And you put it into the chakras where you're weak. I also been doing a lot of visualizing meditations, for the future. A lot of stuff's unsure right now, and trying to manifest certain things. So you have to sit and basically create it in your mind first, clearly. I've been doing a lot of that for my active meditations. I do always do breathing. Um, I like to ask a question to chant. So if there's a type of active meditation you want to do, that's cool. Something a little just more subtle. No, nothing physical eventually. All right. So the final part here is to go beyond the physical body, let it rest. Ideally, you're going up, 5-10 minutes if you have it. 2 or 3 minute minimum, please. I am going to leave you here because I do have a second class I have to get to. And I appreciate you guys showing up. 7:45 tomorrow morning will be simple, slower. Sundays, 7:45, 8:45 a.m. Okay. Thank you, yogis. Good work today. Namaste.